Joseph Mach, and I'm 36 years old. I am a musician, I'm a singer, I'm a bringer of songs, bringer of poetry, a bringer of beauty into the world. It's taken me a little while to get back there. I've always connected with music, I've always loved to perform, I've always just, part of me has felt most alive sharing my voice, singing, and it's been a reconnecting with that. And now that I get to say that that's what I do and live that every day, I get a chance to sing in front of people, and it's just a beautiful thing. To acknowledge that that's what I'm here for, to acknowledge that there's something inside me that has always wanted to steer towards that. And then when you get to be that and get to exist in that, it's just so, it's what life is worth, what life is here for, it's what we're all trying to do, to live with that purpose and to be able to have your passion be what you spend your days doing. There's nothing better than that. At some point, it was landed in me a deeper want for not just the life I'd been living. There's a whole dimension to this world that is hinted at and is talked about in scriptures, in ancient books, in poetry, in texts, but not taught in schools, not taught by your parents. Your friends aren't talking about it. But each one of us has that in us, that it's a knowing of like, there's something else here. There's a few ways that I came to meet him, but it was mostly me very clearly saying to the universe, I want to know, I want to go deeper, I want to find out what's there, what else is there. You look for somebody who has gone before you on the path in the most real way. There's so much bullshit out there in the spiritual world, and the people taking advantage of the seekers, having questions, wanting a guru. I looked for it in those first conversations, those first meetings, and there's no pretense. There's nothing but the real deal, and the intention with him is the real deal. That was what was so important to me, is that it's like it's his deepest wish to get this being opened up and living a full life. How fucking cool is that? That somebody else cares enough to put themselves on the line to get other humans to pop open and live a full, exciting life. Like, oh, it's amazing. And it is something you can't even put words to from a gratitude standpoint. You say, well, if he was in the room right now, what would I say to him? What do you say? What do you say to somebody who's going to do that to you, for you, with you? It's the term saving somebody's soul is thrown out into the wind as a cliche. It's a saving of my soul. My soul was on a path, not a bad path. I was a really nice guy, helping people when I could, being charming, being fun. Maybe even I would have gotten back into playing some music. But it wouldn't have been with this purpose and with this hugeness to what is capable in each human. Every one of us has that. You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. I am the chosen one. We each have that. It just takes somebody to come along and turn the lights on inside of us. And that's what he does. It's what this work does. A lot of it is messy. A lot of it is really painful. It's strange because it's painful and it's beautiful. There are these moments where it's like, oh, I don't want to feel this. Oh, I don't. But then you feel it, and there's liberation underneath each of those. So it's like, I would gladly go through and feel that pain again to get that freedom, to get that deep breath that occurs after you clear something out that you've clutched onto. I'm going to take this to the grave, and you suddenly release that. What a beautiful breath that finally is that you get to take. And almost every session has a moment of that, of clarity, of letting go, of a breath of air that you've never gotten to breathe before because it was so held off, closed off, boarded up. It's huge. It's every area, I would say, has been, without a doubt, every area of my life has been touched, and I would say blessed and widened and deepened by this work. Some of it is just on an interpersonal level. Anybody I interact with now, I'm interacting with from a more essential being. And so everything that goes on is shifted. There's something that I have now, and it's in all my relationships, that is an acknowledging of the person that's underneath all of those layers. And the connections that I have, it's to that person underneath. And that's when you start really getting into the capacity of what we can do that we don't do because we've got these layers of muck on our true being, on our true inner beings. And this work is to clear all that away. And so when you do get it to clear all that away, then you have this real connection. And it's not like it looks like in the movies. It's not romantic Hollywood. It's just this like deep belonging, deep being with people. One of the first things that really struck me and that I am repeatedly amazed by is walking the walk. That nothing is going to get me out the door faster than somebody who tells you one thing and does something different. And more than that, watching somebody do this work and realizing they've been doing this for 40 years, 50 years, and the things don't go away. You just get sharper, you just get faster, more adept at facing these challenges, and you get braver at seeing them come along, and then but watching him do this that it's still it's like every time you have to face something that you don't want to face, it's hard every time. It takes courage every time, and you're only as good as your last time. And so if he is the one that decides, you know what, this time I'm going to back off and I'm going to be scared, well then there's nothing, the whole thing disintegrates. And that's what's so precious about this work. And so where it does take real courage, because you have to commit so deeply to say, no, whatever comes up, I want to get through to the other side. I want to go the next layer of the onion. I want to find out what's underneath that. I want to taste that openness. And we are all in this together. We are all along for the ride. If one person falls down, you start, oh, maybe I should fall down too. And if one person pops up and says, no, I'm here, I'm doing this, I don't care, you start, oh, yeah, me too. That's right, that's what I signed up for. So I really admire the courage of those who have gone before you. And it's so much more than just wisdom or technique. It's a way of being. We're being taught a way of being that is, to my knowledge, not being taught. If this was my last moment, what would I say? What would I do? And so much of life could be lived in that way. And that's what we're kind of learning, is how to, like, when you get to the bottom of all this, you realize what's actually important to you. And you realize what you would actually want to be doing. There's an aliveness, a vitality that comes with that is just, I wouldn't trade that for anything. And that he is cultivating that in the world and trying to grow that, and gives a fuck enough to dedicate his life to that, and that we get to carry a little piece of that. Like, yeah, it's a good day to die.